Hello and welcome to Long Story Short, where stories are told short, concise and always from the heart. We are your hosts, Cadhla McCann
and Juliana, Balula.
We have some fantastic stories lined up for you today, some that you will not want to miss.
Join us this morning as we explore everything our city has to offer. From educational support, sport, live music and late night buses, there is no shortage of stories to tell.
Why don't we have a look at what's coming up in today's show. Oscar winner James Martin talks disability education and how different institutions are going that extra mile to make a difference. We make our way to Newry to talk to the Clanry group, helping people with disabilities prepare for the world of employment. And we speak to Shtick, just one example of the electrifying live music scene arising in Belfast today.
Starting today's show, we visit the world of education. School can be one of the most influential periods in a person's life, so it is crucial that everyone can access all the support they need.
Tag along as Olivia explores disability support in education with Oscar winner James Martin and more.
In Northern Ireland, there are approximately 42,000 people with a learning disability. The Belfast Met, a college institute in Belfast that provides a course specifically for kids aged 16 to 19 with learning disabilities. Conor Hogan, course coordinator, gave us a look into their curriculum and what the school life experience is like for his students.
ILW stands for Independence for Life and Work, and it is a provision that lasts for up to 3 years for school leavers with a statement of needs who are looking to leave the school environment and come in and flourish in college. In the first year, they'll achieve an award. In the second year, they'll achieve a certificate, and by the end of the third year, they actually achieve a diploma in their qualification. On a day-to-day basis, our curriculum will be anything from independent travel training to how to cook a simple meal to how to organise and run an enterprise programme, and along with that, we'll have all our core subjects set aside, including maths, English and ICT. We're continuously seeing little improvements across the 3 years that we have them here on ILW.
Dr. James Martin, MBE, a Belfast-based actor with Down syndrome. He shared how he's using his platform to do a research project called My Life with Down syndrome. He shared the benefits of this research and gave an insight into what his education was like as a person with Down syndrome.
It's really very important to do that research for people with Down syndrome, because if you don't know what Down syndrome is, do the research and find out what can you expect from a person with Down syndrome.
Dr. James Martin rose to global stardom after his performance in An Irish Goodbye, which landed him an Oscar.
I'm just me being me, you know, and a lot of people would say, would you take your disability away from you? The quick answer is that you can't. I mean, I was born with Down syndrome, so it's nice just to know what's out there for people. So that's really nice. There was supposed to be a night coming into schools about classroom assistants and stuff, just to have as an assistant can help you. I've done really good in my maths. I mean, I was like in the top 2 in my maths class.
Louise Beatty is a long-term respected librarian around Belfast schools. She shared her experience as a librarian and described the library as a safe space for her students with disabilities.
It's February 1999. When I started, there was one classroom assistant and one pupil with a statement. So it's been a very varied experience in dealing with a lot of learning disabilities. That anybody with a learning disability, you are just not going to succeed. You're not going to get to the high school. You're not going to go on to college. You're not going to university. Definitely there's more awareness. I think a lot of the provisions that are made have been made by people who have maybe studied learning difficulties and sort of, right, okay, this is what's going to happen, rather than talking to somebody with a learning disability and getting the lived experience of how they deal with things.
Louise acknowledged the change towards those with disabilities, highlighting significant improvements, but she is still very aware that there is more that needs to be done.
Did you know that Northern Ireland has the largest disability gap in all of the UK?
The whole UK? That's awful. It says here, did you know that there was a huge decrease in disability employment in 2020 with the pandemic? That was such a terrible time for us all.
I know, how could I forget? I did know that, and I also know that organisations such as the Clanry Group aim to help close that gap by providing support for disabled individuals about to enter the workplace. Let's have a look.
Across Northern Ireland, thousands of people with disabilities face barriers to finding and keeping meaningful work. According to the Department of Communities, almost 1 in 5 people in the north report having a disability or a limiting long-term health condition. There are calls for more to be done to support those with extra needs in their work life. Tricia and the Clanry Group aim to bridge that gap between education and employment.
A lot of our young people are ready, a lot of our young people aren't ready. One of the biggest challenges, one of the many big challenges, it's actually confidence. A lot of our young people might have the ability to go out into either work placement or part-time work, but maybe don't have that confidence.
Work experience and support are the key ways people can find and keep meaningful work.
I honestly think that government departments like Communities, DWP in the UK, I think that they believe that everybody's just one qualification or one job application away from getting a job, and that is simply not the case.
Some of them feel that our young people would require an awful lot of support, where actually for something they don't. And so there's that assumption. What's for our young people to thrive and so talented in so many ways, and would be an absolute asset to different employers in their specialised areas where their skills lie.
Clearly, progress is being made. However, more awareness and commitment from employers is still needed.
The biggest barrier, and this is really through research and experience with disabled people, is actually somebody else's attitude, prejudice and stigma. Yeah. And what disabled people often will say, it's actually not my disability that is the problem. I live with my disability, I manage my disability. It's actually other people's assumptions or prejudice, which is actually the biggest barrier.
While there is more public interest, support isn't always known or easy to come by.
So often, people will be coming to us maybe in their late 20s when they've tried and failed. They've maybe got a few jobs, lost the jobs, and then they hear about something like Orchardville and they're like, wow, I wish I'd known about this when I was 18 or whatever.
Well, if we look at the statistics at the minute, employment percentage for disabled people is only 43%, whereas 83% of non-disabled people are in employment. So there's a vastly untapped pool of talent there. And so really it's about closing that gap. So that does take time. It's going to take, change. It takes investment from government, etc. In the next 5 years, I would like to see that move towards 50%, so that we could see real progress taking place.
Yeah. While challenges still remain, these organisations highlight a growing commitment to inclusion and to help ensure everyone has the opportunity to contribute and succeed within the workplace.
Now, here at Long Story Short, we love to see independent journalism thrive, especially here in Belfast where there's so much up-and-coming talent.
You're right, Juliana. I mean, independent journalism is on the rise. With the FADA, spotlight this.
Yes, celebrating established and emerging talent in Belfast, they aim to create a space for voices across the community.
Having released their first issue in January, they are a prime example of the fantastic work coming out of Belfast.
Chief Editor Shannon Devlin spoke about the launch of their first issue and the rise of talent across the community.
The rise of independent publishing has given a voice to more people than ever. From photography to fashion, the sky is the limit for promising self-publications countrywide.
It was going to be a fashion magazine with my friend Anna, and it was a terrible name. It was going to be called Slay with the Fada. So then it evolved into With the Fada, and just everything going on creatively here in the country. It's growing, like the creative community here is growing so much. and I just wanted to document it, like what's coming out of my generation, because I was always really fascinated by what was coming in the country. And then we've always produced such legends as well, like across music, art, literature, that I thought it'd be good to document what's coming out now.
There is more to publishing than meets the eye. Without a company behind them, these independent magazines must learn how to do it all.
Which, well, I'm still learning everything now. I've had to learn a bit of marketing. I've had to learn a bit about event management with the launch night and stuff to do with sound, with the music there. Just learning from so many mistakes, honestly. Just designing the whole thing. I just realised I just really make so many mistakes. But it is good because I do keep learning from them, that I'm like, how much more am I going to learn from all the mistakes I'm making? But it does help everything.
Community plays a massive part in With a Fada. Indie fashion duo Cadhla reflect on the visibility the magazine gave them after its first issue.
We had lots of people texting us that they had picked up the magazine, and then we had a lovely spread of it that Shannon made. And then those people would send it, be like, "Do you hear this?" Yeah. But just loads of nice people reaching out to us, and then we've been able to reach out to the other people that were in the magazine as well. It's been really nice.
It is not just up-and-coming magazines that recognise the benefits of independent publishing. Horror editor Trevor Kennedy believes that the medium gives budding talent room to grow.
I think it's really good for people to get their voices out there, that type of thing, who maybe haven't been able to in the past for whatever reason. So, but obviously there has to be quality there as well, and and that is something that you build up, over time, which I have certainly done. I hope I've done anyway, and always will be. So it's very much about it being a learning process, and it is great to get your work out there and for people to read it.
Despite its challenges, independent publishing continues to be a valuable space for creatives to grow. What once seemed like a dwindling industry is working to highlight emerging talent across the nation and bring the community together.
Wow, it's amazing to see just how much talent is arising from this country, and what a great way to bring them to the limelight.
I completely agree, Juliana. It's great to see that there's other art forms, getting their recognition that they deserve, including the electrifying live music scene here in Belfast.
Do you know, I actually went to see High Rider recently in the SU bar.
High Rider, who are they?
They're a Belfast-based band, they're Queen's students, and honestly wasn't expecting such an amazing performance from students because they're so busy, but they are so good.
I would say so. God, our next concert is sorted then, Juliana.
Buy tickets.
One band that I know I'm keeping an eye on is Shtick. From their beginnings in the Holy Lands to their sold-out gigs at the Ulster Sports Club and the Union Bar, they are definitely one to watch out for.
Yes, and they know all about the bustling music scene here in Belfast.
Gonna take my breath away. See you walk by just yesterday, still writing songs about you.
From Snow Patrol to Stiff Little Fingers, Northern Ireland has produced no end of local talent. Now, the next generation of artists are hungry for opportunity. The question is, can they still find it in Belfast? Local artist Shtick thinks so. From humble beginnings in the Holy Lands to opening for Sell Everything in Union Bar, they are looking for their next big opportunity.
Our shit is a lot of our friends, a lot of people we know, so it's kind of just trying not to be a band's band, So getting out of that kind of, as I say, band's band mentality is pretty hard, but it's definitely possible. As I mentioned before, Chalk, Esmeralda Road as well are huge, not just in Belfast. So I'd say it is hard, but it's possible to get out of it.
Yeah, it's really difficult to make that sort of step, going from just your mates turning up to people actually you're there to see you. I think that's the next step for us.
It is not just the bands at the centre of the live music scene in Belfast. Venues have played an integral part in uplifting young artists.
Our favourite was probably sports.
Oh yeah, that was great crack.
Yeah. It's the vibe in the room, playing in venues. Like the MCU is really good as well, but there's something about Sports Club which is because it's so old as well, and the room is really dark.
All the current bands go through Sports Club as well.
Yeah, I suppose it's just how many bands have played in there as well that you're sitting and going, this is really cool to play.
It is no secret that Belfast has been home to rising talent for decades. Social media makes this more apparent than ever, giving artists the opportunity to promote themselves and gig promoters a chance to find budding talent across the nation. There is no end of up-and-coming talent in Belfast, and Near the Noise wants to spotlight this. A firm believer in making opportunities, Shannon Anderson is highlighting the next generation of talent by giving them the chances they are craving.
Loved music and going to gigs, and especially last year, like the second half of last year, I started going to a lot more local gigs of bands from Belfast, and I think I just got such a buzz of discovering, you know, local artists that you'd never heard before, and I just kind of wanted to share that with other people. Like, my role is more than just a promoter, it's the platform as well. So, you know, through Near the Noise we cover artists, like we do an Artist of the Month series, we do live reviews, as well as, you know, obviously we started to run gigs now. So I think mainly it's just helping artists get out there, because it can be quite challenging for artists to have to do all those things themselves as well, and practice for the gig and turn up on the night and try and encourage people to come. So I suppose it's taking that wee bit of pressure off it.
Between opening across the city and promoting new gigs, the next generation of artists are certainly making their mark. There's still opportunity for these artists to grow in Belfast, and if they can't find it, they'll make it.
Wow. Don't you think it? Cadhla.
Are we
Hello,
live?
we're live.
Oh, sorry. I was listening to Stick. Their new song is actually class.
I know.
Can't wait to see what they're going to do next, Juliana.
I know. I wish I could have seen them, but the studio keeps me busy.
Tell me about it. I'll tell you what else is busy. This show. Let's have a look at what other stories are coming up next.
SOS Bus Service tackles late night transport for students in the city, making sure they get home safe. Niamh Devlin gives her valuable insight on our host Irish dancing and gives us one-to-one lesson testing our skills. Ulster's own LGBTQ GAA club, Erica Ula, shines as a valuable example of inclusivity. But before all that, Cadhla and I headed into the city to see how public transport is working.
Yeah, we did. And I should definitely have had my morning coffee before we took on this challenge.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let's take a look at how we got on.
Hello everyone, I have been let out of the studio today and I am in city centre in Belfast. Can you guess where I am? I'm in Thompson's at the bar, and me and Juliana have been posed a very important challenge to see who can make it back to the studio at Sark the quickest, only using public transport. This will be interesting. Probably can't hear me over the buses, but this is the metro clip. I'm going to try and buy a metro ticket, okay? That's got. I can try and get on as much public transport as I need to. And I think this will definitely give me an advantage over Juliana. So fingers crossed.
Today I'm here outside the famous Belfast club Boombox, and I am going to try and find my way back to our studio without the use of my phone and through public transport. Let's go. Okay, I don't really know Belfast too well around these areas, so this will be fun. So I think we've got a stop just here, and we're about to read the timetable. Oh, there's no digital timetable, so I guess we're gonna have to read off the written one.
I'm flagging a bus driver. Oh my god, did it right past me?
We have got a bus. We're now getting on it. Let's see if it takes us to the right place.
I've bought a ticket to city centre, which is where this is going. So let's see if I can find a bus from the city centre up to the Sark. Okay everyone, we are nearly at my stop.
I'm actually not sure where I'm going. I'm not sure where I am. I'm getting kind of panicked because it says City Airport at the top of the bus. Juliana, I might need some help.
I hope Cadhla is better at this than me. I'm sure she will be, but who knows what her location's going to be. So.
What's City Airport? It looks like taxi is my best option. Taxi pickup point, account taxi. Oh my god, I can see a road sign right now for Bangor. This is so terrible. Oh sweet god, how did I mess this up? I don't want to go to Bangor. I want to go to Sark.
Okay, here's our bus. It says Erinville on it. We're going to get in and see if it takes us to the right place. Hopefully this is the last bus I have to get.
I got a ticket to the Malone Road, which is very close to the studio, so let's see.
I ended up on George Best's City Airport in the middle of nowhere, and now I'm exactly where I started. So Juliana has definitely won, and I'm a sore loser.
Okay, I think we're starting to get closer to my drop-off location. I see Lavery's is just up there, which means Queen's is next, which means the studio's next. Fingers crossed.
Okay, I see a bus over there. Malone Road! That's close.
Okay everyone, I have made it to my stop outside of our studio. I'd love to know where Cadhla is. That must mean that I beat her here, so this has been successful for me.
I lost! I have made it to Zork! Thank God for that. Oh, that is such a relief. I'm finally here back in the Queen's University Belfast gates, and I'm so close to the studio right now. Let's see if Juliana's here. Oh, watching that back, I cannot believe that I lost to you, Juliana.
Falling asleep on the bus.
You made that look like a breeze. Oh, I'm so annoyed.
We're glad to have you back. And honestly, if you thought that was hard, imagine late at night with no public transport there to help you. Now, anyone who's ever had a night out in Belfast knows the real challenge isn't getting into Kremlin or Limelight, it's getting home afterwards.
Exactly. Getting back to the Holy Lands after a night out can be an absolute nightmare when half of Belfast is queuing for a taxi at 2 a.m.
And that's why Queen's teamed up with the SOS bus to offer free late night service to students, helping them get home safely after nights out.
TransLink runs late night buses on Fridays and Saturdays, but during the week there's nothing. For students who go out midweek, that means walking home alone or relying on expensive taxis. To help close that gap, Queen's partnered with SOS from February to April to test a volunteer-run night bus initiative called Get Home Safe. The CEO of SOS, Mickey Murray, delves into the charity's transport service and how it offers support to students travelling home at night.
We don't want to just put a minibus in the city centre with a driver. We make sure that we have 3 volunteers, that one of them at least is female, that people who are using our service get taken care of, because that's what we're there for. It's not a transport service, it's a welfare service.
This welfare service ran from 12 to 2 a.m. outside Crumlin on Wednesdays and Limelight on Thursdays, but despite their efforts, SOS say that the bigger picture is that Belfast hasn't caught up with the transport options available in many other cities.
Students are more likely to go out during the week, and if we can expand that nighttime transport to Monday right through to Sunday, then it's going to put us, at the same level as other cities in the UK and Europe who do have nighttime transport.
But why is it important that Belfast adapts to students' social schedule? According to Belfast City Council, Belfast is now one of the youngest cities in Europe, with around 40% of the population being under 30. With this young demographic, both the level of vulnerability and the demand for safer ways home are growing. With students across the city going out at night, Queen's student Niamh Morgan believes that the lack of late night transport is a bigger issue in Belfast than people think.
I think public transport generally has failed students. I think that there's not enough options for public transport, especially late at night when students will be coming out from bars.
And she's not alone. Luke described having to intervene when his female friends were being followed on a night out.
We were away walking back from Kremlin when these 2 boys from Manchester kind of kept, not hassling, but kept following us around. And they came over to come chat with us, and we kept giving hints, we need to go home, it's getting quite late. And then we then confronted the security guard about, what happened, these Manchester boys wouldn't leave us alone, and luckily he sorted out for us, but if they weren't there, it would have ended very, very differently.
Student Community Officer at Queen's, Ryan Rankin, developed the initiative after safety concerns were raised by students.
They'll report to the likes of channels such as Holy Land Spotted, but not to PSNI, which is where we need them to report it to. So from a statistical point of view, it will look like crime is falling, and that may not be the lived experiences of our students living in certain areas.
While Get Home Safe has offered support during the trial, it's only a temporary measure. and many students say that the real change needs to come from Belfast's transport system.
They can head out without worrying about walking home alone or in the dark, and basically, yeah, they can enjoy being a student.
For many students, that means introducing midweek late-night buses, a permanent change that would make the biggest difference in a city where they make up such a significant community.
Next, sport is an important part of our identity as a nation. We have produced some of the greats, from George Best to Riverdance.
Speaking of Irish dancing, you got to teach me a bit of it, didn't you, Cadhla?
I did. I had a fantastic time. I finally convinced you to take on the Irish dancing world, but I can't say the same for you, Juliana.
No, it was great. It was great.
It's not every day you get to learn from an Ulster champion. Hello, how are you? So good to see you again.
You too.
This is Juliana.
Hello, how are you?
We're really excited to have you. Thank you so much for coming down.
No problem.
I know you've had a really busy week.
Yes, very busy week. Very tired, but very good.
How'd you get on then?
I got second in the world. Absolutely delighted.
That's amazing.
I think we should teach Juliana maybe a jig.
Okay.
It's the basic foundation of Irish dancing, and I think that will probably set us off at a beginner level, which is perfect for Juliana.
Okay, let's see a jig then.
2, 1.
Okay, Juliana, on a scale of 1 to 10, difficulty?
Would I be able to do this? Maybe a 2.
How well, it'll be worth a try.
Yeah.
Right, 1, 2, 3, point, hop back. Yep, you're okay.
Yeah.
You're okay. Do you want to try it again?
Let's go from the start.
1, 2, 3, point, hop back, point, hop back, and then the 2 jumps. Jump, 2, 3, jump, 2, 3. Brilliant. Very good.
Let's go, Juliana.
Very good.
Thank you. Really good. Thank you so much, Neve. I think
problem.
that has been enough for Juliana, to be honest, today.
It's given me a newfound respect for the sport, that's for sure. Well, thanks for putting me through my paces, Cadhla, and I promise everyone at home that is a lot harder than it looks.
It is, Juliana. I'll give you that. I must say, we can work on our jump 2 3s maybe together another time.
Okay.
Still potential yet. Irish dancing is a cornerstone of our culture, with over 5,000 competitors from over 30 countries that compete at the World Irish Dancing Championships. And it's great to see people like yourself getting involved.
Yes. Our guest today represents the Mullen School of Irish Dancing in County Tyrone and has made her way through the competitive ranks.
We wanted to find out more about her amazing story, from humble beginnings to recently becoming Ulster champion.
Neve Devlin joins us now in studio. Thanks so much for coming, Neve.
Thank you, Neve. Huge congratulations from everybody here in the studio, as we hear you've had a huge accolade at the World Championships there a few weeks ago.
Yes, so I achieved 2nd place in the world there.
Congratulations. Juliana could never.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm absolutely delighted.
What was going through your head then when the results were coming out, the 100 points were being given? What was that like for you?
It was just so overwhelming. See, when there's different numbers being thrown at you, you don't actually know where you are until the very end.
Yeah.
But absolutely delighted and so happy that all my hard work paid off.
Of course, you should be so proud of yourself. So, as we know, you represent the Mullen School of Irish Dancing. What is it like to have that support system around you? How have they helped you get to where you are?
I'm very lucky. I have 2 brilliant Irish dancing teachers who I've been with since I was 3. So I've been 18 years dancing for them. And they're basically my 2 best friends who want the best for me, and they support me no matter what the result, and on the good and bad days. And I'm very lucky I've got good dancing mummies supporting me as well. They come to different competitions and support me at Ulsters at World Championship level.
Yeah, that love from the sport, it doesn't just come from the sport itself, but it comes from the people around you as well.
100%.
Feeling that.
The support does make a difference, definitely.
So obviously you're at the top now. It's hard to stay there. And that comes from training, but it also comes from mindset. What does a champion mindset mean to you?
So after winning the Ulsters, I never have experienced obviously winning before, and there was a bit of pressure to start off with, but I changed my mindset to think of pressure as a privilege and look at it in a positive way, that a few years ago I would never have got to experience this, so I'm very lucky, and I'm obviously striving to do even better again as well in upcoming years.
Yeah, just quickly, you were saying there you've never won before. Could you tell us a little bit about that in terms of your placements in previous years to now?
Yep, so in the Worlds, Placings wise, I got 37th in my first Worlds, and then 6 years later, I'm here in second.
That's crazy improvement. Still hope for you yet, Juliana.
Okay.
Just proof the hard work does pay off, and it does take time though. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Of course. And could you tell us a bit about how you manage to balance your Irish dancing life with your social life, your work life, your school life?
Yep, so I'm completing my BA degree over in St Mary's in Belfast, and it's a 4-year degree. I'm second year at the minute, but I was on placement there up till the day before the Worlds, and it was tough going. So I was teaching post-primary for 8 weeks, and it's so hard to keep up with the dancing and as well as your schoolwork, because you want to do well in both, and you try to equate both of them, but no, you have to be organised, and that's what I have become over the past 2 years as becoming a teacher as well.
Yeah, so obviously you are wanting to become a teacher and deal with children and leave a legacy. Is there something that you'd like to do maybe after your competitive dancing career?
Yeah, so I want to be a TCRG as well as after my competitive career, and I would love to be a professional Irish dancer as well.
Lord of the Dance, River Dance, that kind of thing?
Maybe, yeah.
I can see it now.
Yeah, hopefully something like that. Just show dancing in general, just to continue my dancing career in some way.
Yeah, being able to perform for
yeah,
other people.
performance-wise, yeah, 100%.
Well, it has been a pleasure having you in the studio today and hearing a wee bit more about your really inspiring story. Do you not just think it's amazing, Cadhla, what can really be achieved when you put your mind to it?
Yeah, I completely agree. Neve's dedication is really, really clear there.
Yeah.
And one group that also shows that is Erika Ula, an LGBTQ GA club based right here in Belfast. In the heart of Ulster, a new chapter in Gaelic Games is being written, built on inclusion, pride and community. Éire Alu GAC is making history as Ulster's first explicitly LGBTQ+ inclusive Gaelic club, opening Gaelic Games to a wider community than ever before.
So the club was formed in 2022. It was formed by a group of, I think it was like 4 or 5 people, and it was just kind of an opportunity for people, like-minded people, to kind of join a club and play Gaelic football in a space where they felt comfortable. So we're about to celebrate our 4-year anniversary this year in May.
Players from all backgrounds are coming together, united by a shared love of sport. For many, it's more than just a game. It is a place to be themselves.
From hearing stories from people in the club, like they just didn't feel comfortable in kind of a club that didn't, like not an LGBTQ+ club. They felt that there was kind of just segregated and didn't feel as comfortable. So having this kind of club just made everyone kind of feel more comfortable and just join for the inclusivity that this team has and up our skills and progress within the league.
Well, Erleville is a club, I know from the fact that they're looking for their own ground, looking for their own clubhouse, and hopefully they're looking to start a hurling team as well. For the GA team and the LGFI team, their goal is to get better every season, and every training session they're getting better, and every season they're getting better, and they're really looking forward to this season again. We can only get better than we were last year, and from what I've seen so far in training, we're going to get there.
As Éire Alu GAC looks to the future, one thing is abundantly clear. For this club, it's about more than just football. It's about visibility, community, and making sure Gaelic Games truly belong to everyone.
I keep on saying to the girls, I don't worry about results. I more worried about how we perform. And if we go out and get a performance, that's a win for me. If we go home and we know we've done better than we did last week, that's a win.
Well, that's just a great story to finish on there today. A great show of teamwork, camaraderie and sportsmanship as well. 100%. Have you ever tried GA yourself there, Juliana?
Well, I played briefly in primary school, but much like the Irish dancing, didn't really fall within my skill set.
We'll find something for you to beat me at, Juliana. Oh, you did beat me at the challenge, I'll give you that.
Keep that
maybe that'll be our next segment, maybe for another day.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
We really hope you've enjoyed watching at home just as much as me and Juliana have enjoyed being in the studio. I've been Cadhla McCann.
And I've been Juliana Balula. And to keep this long story short, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.